Hey everybody, this is Salazar here, and once again I bring you another answer to another pretty awesome fitness question. And this time the question is, what is the best deadlift variation exercise? Okay, I wrote an answer, but I'm just improvising, okay? I'm just improvising, and what I can tell you is this. There are a lot of deadlift variation exercises and deadlift assistance exercises, which I don't consider to be the same. For example, what is a deadlift variation exercise? Okay, I consider it to be a variation if it is a partial of the full range of motion, or if it's another form that is allowed in a powerlifting competition as a totally valid lift for your total. So, in terms of conventional deadlift alternative exercises, the obvious answer would be the sumo deadlift. Okay, sumo deadlift, that ultra wide stance or vertical torso. Okay, it's more how do you say it? People with shorter torsos, shorter frames and stuff, are probably better off doing the sumo. But what I want to say is, first variation, which is obvious, is the sumo deadlift. Full exercise on its own right. You can build your total with it. Now, if you're talking deadlift, conventional deadlift variations, to build your conventional deadlift, I would have to say first the deficit deadlift. You essentially have the full range of motion and more. So the transference or the carryover will be tremendous. You can do a deficit deadlift by, for example, standing in a couple of weight plates on a platform, some sort, or using lesser diameter plates. Okay. So this is number one. Number two would be the stiff-legged deadlift. It's essentially a variation of the deadlift where you will, lifting from the ground, your legs will be unlocked, so they will not be straight or stiff like the name suggests, but they will also not be as bent as the conventional form, so it will be as straight as possible but unlocked, but still unlocked, which will get you a very, very high activation of your posterior chain, namely your hamstrings and your glutes. Also your lower back, of course, but especially those two muscle groups. To a lesser degree, the Romanian deadlift is also pretty good, but I would suggest the Romanian deadlift for weightlifters, meaning people who are doing Olympic lifts, okay, like the clean and jerk. Because the Romanian deadlift, in case you don't know this, is an exercise that was developed specifically for weightlifters to increase their clean. Okay, the clean. It's a part of the clean and jerk, where you essentially bring the bar from the floor to a rack position while you squat. So you get the bar on your shoulders while squatting, and then you front squat the way up. Okay, that's the full clean. And The Romanian deadlift is an assistance exercise for the clean, and specifically it's an assistance exercise for a part of the clean known as the second pull. There's two pulls at least to a clean. You got the first pull where you pull from the ground till about knee level, and then you have the second pull where you pull from above the knee and you shrug, or you don't you shrug, but not an active shrug. Okay, there's some interpretations of this, but in my understanding, the shrug is just a natural occurrence of gravity. Like you're already dropping down, and your arms are still going up, so you're not actually doing this. You're just going down, so you're you know dumping. Dumping. This doesn't sound right. So anyway, Romanian deadlift is an assistant exercise for the second pull. Okay, second pull is like when you do like this. The bar here, you dip, and then you explode. Okay, and so in a Romanian deadlift, you remove the bar from the rack. You don't lift it from the ground. You take it from the rack. Okay, and so the bar at the bottom position is above the knee. Okay, you don't drop the bar below the knee. That's not the point of Romanian deadlift. All you do is you lower the bar while putting your hips back. And when the bar gets right above the knee, you explode the weight up. You don't pull it like the second pull, so you just pull it to your hip. You don't jump or anything. Just lower the bar and you bring the bar back up explosively. That's the Romanian deadlift. Pretty good exercise, and especially for your posterior chain once again. But I prefer the stiff leg deadlift if the end is to increase your conventional deadlift. Now, in terms of other exercises for general strength, and in specifically to your posterior chain, the same muscles that are involved in the conventional exercise, you will of course have the good morning and the hip thrust and even the kneeling squat or the stallion, which is a version of the kneeling squat where you are. The kneeling squat is a great exercise. Okay, it's excellent for your glute development and for your hamstring development. It doesn't really engage the low back, but for the hamstrings and the glutes, it's awesome. You're essentially kneeling down on the ground. You'll probably want to have some sort of balance pad or kneeling pad to support your knees. You will place the bar on your back rack position, either high bar or low bar, probably high bar. You can use the Smith machine for this, for example, but not necessarily. You can totally do it with a free weight. And then all you have to do is you're gonna sit on your heels, and then you're gonna lift yourself to a kneeling position, right? So you're performing hip extension function, okay? And you can load it pretty good. You can load it pretty good also. So good mornings, kneeling squats, and the stallion, which is like a kneeling squat where you also place a band fixed on the rack that will just increase the effort that you're going to have to do to extend your hip, because the band will be in front of your hip, so you'll have to not only come up with the weight over you, but also with the band in front of you. So it's pretty good, pretty ingenious, and you can totally check out Brett Contreras performing that exercise. The hip thrust is just another variation of this, or this is a variation of a hip thrust. It really doesn't matter. I don't know which one of those exercises you can load the most, meaning you can handle more weight, but just test. The one you can handle the most weight will be, in my opinion, the best one. Hip thrust, you'll be lying in the ground, you'll put the bar over your hip, and you're going to try to push your butt up. Okay. So you'll probably also want to use some sort of pad under the bar, beating your pelvic bone and the bar, so as not to engage in excruciating pain. So this is what I had to say about deadlift variation exercises. Possibilities are many. You can just change your exercise selection, specifically your assistance exercises, so as to cover all of these exercises. For instance, you can week 1 you can do hip thrusts on the first day. On Wednesday you can do the kneeling squat. On Friday you can do some good mornings. Okay, as assistance. Maybe as secondary assistance. Okay, maybe you did the deficit deadlift on Monday, first one you're going to be doing, and then you did the assistance proper exercises, like those that are not really variations of the exercise, but are using the same basic muscle functions. Okay, so this is what I had to say. See you in the next question or video. Peace.